Hey, this is Adia. I hope everything is well with you. A question that I get from time to time in various forms, but it all boils down to one kind of foundational issue is, Adia, I have this great idea. Say that 3 times fast. Or, Adia, I feel like God is calling me to something, or He's calling me to write a book, or to start a business, or to do this particular venture. But I'm already committed to like 12 different things. Like, in addition to being a wife, a mom, a sister, caring for my aging parents, being involved in so many other different things, how do I fulfill this leading, this tugging, this pulling, this yearning in me to do this particular venture? And to that I say, obedience is worth the sacrifice. I'm going to say that again. Obedience is worth the sacrifice. I know that there is scripture that says obedience is better than sacrifice, and that is absolutely true. Completely believe in the authority of scripture, but also obedience is worth the sacrifice. There are so many things that we have to sacrifice to do something great in our community, to do something great for God. And so when you make that sacrifice of time, of money, of effort, of sleep, of even relationships, God will bless that. Your venture will be that much more blessed because you are being obedient to the leading and to the tugging that's on your heart. And so I think that sometimes the sacrifice happens in several ways. And I think where the, if you will, disobedience comes in is that we don't recognize the sacrifices that we need to make, and we therefore don't make those sacrifices. So I think there are 3 areas in which you may be called to sacrifice if you are really, really wanting to do something and to do something great and to fulfill your ultimate purpose in life. And the first thing is that it's a sacrifice of separation. There may come points and times where you have to separate yourself, even from those that are closest to you at this point. I do have friends, I've experienced this personally, where people that I thought would be in my life for the rest of my life no longer have that place of prominence. And I still love them, we still love each other, but our relationship is just different. And I had to come to the realization that it's not them, it's not me, it's just ultimately the purpose that I have in life. That doesn't make me better than them. It doesn't make them lesser than me. I am not superior. They are not inferior. They do great and amazing and wonderful things. But on this particular journey and at this particular juncture, I've had to not have as close a connection with certain people as I have in the past. And so sometimes we resist that because, oh, she's been in my life forever. We've been friends since kindergarten. But God is saying, but I want to put somebody in your life that's going to help you fulfill your purpose. And so we resist that. And I think sometimes we drag out the process. We make it a little bit harder. Lord knows I have. And we just need to recognize that sometimes the obedience that we need to have to do God's purpose or to do what it is that we want to do may require separation. It may even require a separation from our family, in terms of time. We may have to spend some time separate and apart from them, really working on, honing, taking classes, whatever it is that we feel like we need to do in order to accomplish this ultimate purpose. It is not a bad thing. It does not have to be a permanent thing, but it does have to be done if ultimately your purpose is to be established and to be accomplished. The second area is saturation. Sometimes you have to completely immerse yourself in whatever it is that you are ultimately trying to accomplish. You have to read, you have to watch, you have to learn, you have to get your hands in and get dirty and figure it all out for yourself in order to really fully walk into that purpose and to do it with excellence and to do it with care and to do it in a systematic way that is really unique and even unique to you and your own personality. There are thousands of ways to do 1,000 different things, but there's only one way for you to do that particular thing. And so you do have to spend some time saturating yourself in whatever that particular niche is, whatever that particular brand or product or purpose or calling is, so that you can really hear and find out and learn, how am I supposed to do this versus how my friend is doing it versus how someone else is doing it. And then lastly, the obedience that's required to really walk in your purpose requires negotiation. It does. I find that we as women, we are not very good negotiators when it comes to our own behalf. We'll negotiate for our children, we'll negotiate for our loved ones, we'll negotiate for our friends, but we are not as confident and not as skilled at negotiating for ourselves. We wear so many hats, we have so many different responsibilities, and they're all good. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we are responsible for fulfilling the purpose that is destined for our lives. And that's something only we can do. We push people that we love and that we care about to fulfill that purpose. Sometimes we don't even have someone to push us, but we have to be selfish enough at sometimes to negotiate just a little bit so that we can fulfill and to walk out our purpose in life. One of the things when I see women that are unfulfilled and that are unhappy and that just seemingly have something that's missing in their life, I find that it's not because they're mean, or it's not even because something so tragic or traumatic has happened in their life. Sometimes it's just because they haven't been selfish enough to take time to, one, figure out what it is that they're supposed to do, and then to take any time at all to actually do it, to try it, to see what happens. And I find that when you do that, when you try to walk out that purpose, when you try to start that venture, you get a ton of energy. You get a ton of creativity. You're able to do multiple things, and you're able to do it well because you're fulfilled, you're happy. Those endorphins kick in because you are doing things not only for those that you love and care about and are responsible for, but for yourself. And so Susan L. Taylor, one of my favorite quotes of all times, is you have to give to yourself before you give yourself away. And I love that quote because it not only applies to self-care, but it applies to walking out our purpose, living out what it is that we are supposed to do in life. So you have to negotiate with your family and your friends. You have to tell them, look, I just need an extra hour, or I just need an hour every day to work on something. If you can just give me that hour, if you can, either pick up the kids or fend for yourself for dinner, just give me an hour. It may require that you have to either get up an hour earlier or stay up an hour later at night to work on those things and to get some momentum going with that. Don't do it to the point of exhaustion. However, work a little bit on it. Try to accomplish one thing a day towards your purpose, and you will really start to feel good. You'll start to see some momentum. And honestly, God will open up the heavens. The universe will open up, and everything that you needed will all of a sudden start attracting itself to you. It is His will for your life, and it is up to us to walk in His will. Take care and be blessed.